Charlton Heston was a Hollywood legend who rose to fame in the 1950s and 60s, starring in some of the most epic films of his time. He was known for his powerful performances, rugged good looks, and commanding presence on screen. With memorable roles in movies like The Ten Commandments and Ben-Hur, Heston became one of the biggest stars of his generation, earning critical acclaim and adoration from audiences worldwide. However, his personal life was marked by tragedy and controversy, leading to a sad and unexpected ending for the iconic actor. In the small town of Wilmette, Illinois, Charlton Heston was born to parents Leila and Russell Whitford Carter on October 4, 1923. Russell worked as a sawmill operator, and Charlton's ancestry was mainly English with partial Scottish descent. When Charlton was just an infant, his father's job took the family to St. Helens, Michigan. It was a rural, heavily forested area where Charlton enjoyed a solitary but peaceful existence. He spent most of his time exploring the backwoods, hunting, and fishing. At the age of 10, Charlton's parents divorced, and his mother eventually married a man named Chester Heston. Charlton attended New Trier High School, where he developed an interest in dramatics. As a young boy, Charlton had a vivid imagination, often acting out characters from the books he read. He had a natural talent for performing and actively participated in his school's plays, bringing his characters to life on stage. One of his early breakthroughs was being cast in an amateur silent 16mm film adaptation of Peer Gynt, which was released in 1941 as part of his school's drama program. Charlton's performance was so impressive that it caught the attention of many. Charlton's acting skills did not go unnoticed, and he was awarded a drama scholarship to Northwestern University. Here, he received training from several prominent teachers, including Alvina Cross, who was known for her work in the theatrical arts. As World War II raged on, Charlton Heston felt a strong sense of duty to his country. In 1944, he enlisted in the United States Army Air Forces and was stationed in the Alaskan Aleutian Islands. Charlton served as a radio operator and aerial gunner aboard a B-25 Mitchell medium bomber and was a part of the 77th Bombardment Squadron of the 11th Air Force. His hard work and dedication earned him the rank of Staff Sergeant. After the war, Charlton returned home to his wife Lydia, and they settled in the bustling city of New York. Life was tough, and they made ends meet by working as artists' models. But Charlton's passion for theater burned bright, and he was determined to make a name for himself in the industry. Together, Charlton and Lydia decided to take a bold step toward their dream. They managed a small playhouse in Asheville, North Carolina in 1947, where they earned $100 a week. It was a meager sum, but they poured their hearts and souls into the work, determined to make it a success. In 1948, Charlton Heston and his wife returned to New York City, where they hoped to continue pursuing their dreams in theater. Heston was offered a supporting role in a Broadway revival of Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, alongside the famous actress Katharine Cornell. Meanwhile, in the world of television, Heston began to make a name for himself with several roles in Columbia Broadcasting System's Studio One, which was one of the most popular anthology dramas of the 1950s. Despite his success on stage and screen, Heston's first professional movie appearance did not come until he was 26 years old. He landed the leading role in Dark City, a 1950 film noir produced by Hal Wallis. However, it was Heston's role as a circus manager in The Greatest Show on Earth that truly launched his career. Directed by Cecil B. DeMille, the film was named Best Picture of 1952 by the Motion Picture Academy and became the most popular movie of the year. This breakthrough role led to many more opportunities for Heston in Hollywood. In 1954, Charlton Heston made 2 adventure films for Paramount Pictures. In The Naked Jungle, he played the lead character who had to fight a plague of killer ants. The Secret of the Incas, another adventure film, was shot on location at Machu Picchu and had many similarities to Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was released a quarter of a century later. He then starred in The Far Horizons, 1955, alongside Fred MacMurray as Meriwether Lewis, playing William Clark the Explorer. He later tried his hand at comedy in The Private War of Major Benson, 1955, at Universal Studios, and played a supporting role in the drama Lucy Gallant, 1955, alongside Jane Wyman. Charlton Heston became an iconic figure for his portrayal of Moses in the hugely successful biblical epic The Ten Commandments, 1956, directed by Cecil B. DeMille. The Ten Commandments was one of the highest-grossing films of all time and remains one of the greatest box office successes in history. Heston's performance as the Hebrew prophet and deliverer received widespread praise from film critics. As an accomplished actor, Heston continued to work on several films in the 1960s. He starred in The Pigeon That Took Rome, 1962, and Diamond Head, 1963, both of which were produced by Samuel Bronston. However, his next epic film, 55 Days at Peking, 1963, did not perform well at the box office. In 1965, Heston took on a new role as the president of the Screen Actors Guild, a position he held until 1971. The guild had been established in 1933 to represent the interests of actors who had different concerns from the producers and directors who controlled the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Heston was known to be more conservative than most actors and frequently clashed with liberal actors such as Ed Asner. Despite not having a major hit in several years, Heston's career received a much-needed boost in 1968 when he starred in the science fiction film Planet of the Apes. Directed by Franklin J. Schaffner, the film was a box office success and helped to re-establish Heston as a leading actor in Hollywood. Charlton Heston once again portrayed Mark Antony in another film adaptation of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. His co-stars included Richard Chamberlain, Jason Roberts, and Diana Rigg. The cast also featured Robert Vaughn as Casca and English actors Richard Johnson as Cassius and John Gielgud as Caesar. Afterward, Heston starred in the science fiction film The Omega Man, which was popular but received mixed reviews from critics. During this time, he also became an advocate for gun rights. In 1972, Heston made his directorial debut in an adaptation of Antony and Cleopatra, the Shakespeare play he had performed earlier in his theater career. He also starred in the film as Mark Antony with Hildegard Neal as Cleopatra and Eric Porter as Ahenobarbus. However, the film received negative reviews and was never released in theaters. It remains a rare find on television. Charlton Heston's successful run at the box office came to an end in the late 1970s with the release of 2-Minute Warning, 1976, a disaster film, and The Last Hard Men, 1976, a western. However, he continued to work in the film industry, playing King Henry VIII in The Prince and the Pauper, 1977, and starring in another disaster film, Grey Lady Down, 1978. In the mid-1980s, Heston made his only primetime television appearance on the soap opera The Colbys from 1985 until 1987. He also produced and starred in several TV movies with his son Fraser, including remakes of Treasure Island and A Man for All Seasons. In 1992, Heston made a brief appearance on the A&E cable network in a series of videos called Charlton Heston Presents the Bible, where he read passages from the King James Version. In addition to his work in film and television, Heston narrated various documentaries including Hercules, 1997, and Armageddon, 1998. During his later years, he served as the president of the National Rifle Association from 1998 to 2003.